It's the most wonderful time of the year. Hey everybody, it's Casual Boops. Welcome back. And we're gonna do the full holiday ops guide for 2021. Uh, this is gonna be a long video, guys. I'm gonna cover a lot of stuff. I'm gonna try to keep things organized so you can skip to the part where you want to see. I've got the chapters so you can click on the part that you care about. I'm going to try to keep it in order. So we got the loot box opening. I'm going to show you what I got with the 200 boxes that all the community contributors got. I'll show a summary at the end if you don't care to see all the little animations and stuff. I'm going to show you like holiday ops basics. Like, what are we doing here? Why should you care? What do we do? How do I do it? Just, you know, if you don't know what we're doing, like what this is, I will explain it to you. We're going to talk about festive atmosphere optimization. And if that doesn't make any sense, it will very soon. We're going to talk about the collection camos. We're going to talk about Arnold Schwarzeneggar. We're talking about sending mail. A lot of these things without context sound ridiculous. Holiday vehicle slots. And then also the last but not least is the free-to-play targets, where I think you should, we'll probably end up. If you're free to play, you're not going to buy anything, and that's totally fine. I think the answer is still that you're going to get this is going to be still worth doing. And I'll have to do a follow-up like I did last year after we're about a week or two in on where the free-to-play can land. So having said that, we'll get right into it. So here is the loot box opening. Okay, we're going to start with what are we seeing here? We got all the different types. Start at the top. New Year boxes. 5 at a time, make it fast. Pretty vanilla, pretty basic on that one. One of the low tier little guys, little low tier tanks. We got one of the styles for the ST2, it looks like. Looks nice. Hate the tank, love the style. Ooh, the style for the VZ55. And wow, another batch of 5 boxes with the bare minimum. And yet another batch of 5 with the bare minimum. Got the Matilda LTV, a little low tier guy. Nothing too exciting in that batch. And so this is the end of our 50 boxes of this batch, and I had to utilize the guaranteed vehicle, the anti-feels bad mechanic. If you open 50 vehicles and you haven't gotten a tier 8, they will make sure that you get a tier 8, and this is the one that I got, the Caliban, which I'm not excited about owning, to be quite honest, but anyways, hooray. So that was the first 50, and we and just by owning just by owning the tanks, or I'm sorry, just by getting the decorations, you automatically get a bunch of levels. So I apologize for the level spam here. This is just, I'll try to move through this animation as quickly as possible. Okay, moving on to the next batch of 50. And the Rhino 3D style. Again, looks great, love the style, hate the tank. The little Panzer 38R, the low tier guy. I think that's all of the low tier tanks. I might be missing one. Oh no, the KV-1 shield that I've still got to get. And there it is. What do you know? Pretty unexciting batch of 5. 268v4 style, nice. Oh yeah, so the M485, that's the last low tier one. Now I've got them all, I think. And I'll do reviews about those tanks if you guys care to know about it. I mean, just let me know in the comments if you guys want to see reviews for that. Just say something. Wow, another batch of 5 with the absolute lowest that you could possibly get. And there the M4 turns into a bunch of gold, perfect. And we're almost at the last 5. We are at the last 5 and still haven't gotten another tier 8. Some gold here, but now we're having to use the feels bad mechanic again. So I've opened 100 boxes so far and used the feels bad mechanic twice. So this is pretty wow. I am glad that it's here, because otherwise this would just continue to feel bad, not getting, opening 50 boxes and not getting a single tier 8. So kudos to Wargaming for adding that in. And I didn't have a 122 TM before, so that's nice. But yeah, if you're not sure what that is, basically I'll talk about this while the festive atmosphere level spam happens. If you open 50 boxes and you do not get a tier 8, you're guaranteed to get a tier 8. If you open one in like box number 30, then the counter resets. So it's nice because that way at least you're guaranteed. If somebody gifts you some stuff and you end up with a whole bunch and you haven't got anything and you got like 5 boxes remaining on your countdown, then you know that at least you could buy 5 and you'll guaranteed to get a tier 8. So it's nice. Hopefully our luck improves, because the first 100 boxes were rather underwhelming, if I say so myself. Okay, and there's our low tiers changed for gold. Looks like a Tornwagen. Yes. Great. I will never play this tank. I did not really care for it when I played it to make the review. Ah, the style for the Sheridan. Nice. It's got little... I wonder... I know it doesn't, but it would be funny if this allowed you to move through the water faster, because it's got the little amphibious stuff on the back. Ooh, style for the shit barn. Like the style, hate the tank. I think the styles this year are better than the previous years. I just wish they were for tanks that I enjoyed playing, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who likes these guys, likes these tanks. Oh, yeah, our luck has definitely been better in this batch of 50. This has got to be the Mivy, right? That's the only one that's left. Yeah, you can tell by the turret. Yeah, nice. This is the one that I was actually excited to own. And it's the last one that I don't own. I already have a Skoda. I had shelled out for the Skoda when it was released. Our LTV turning into gold, so that's nice. Another low tier tank turning into gold. And another low tier tank turning into gold. Okay, that's nice. Alright, so our last batch of 50. And you can see here, our feels bad counter is at 30, so at worst case scenario, we're going to get another tank, which will be converted to gold after 30. Which is good, because a lot of these batches of 5 have been really bad. Hey, a Caliban. Nice. So that's easy 9,450 gold. So now our feels bad counter is going to reset. Because we just got that one. And a Caliban again. Okay. And the last 5. Okay, so that's it for the large boxes, and you can see the summary here in the top left is after opening 200 boxes, this is the result. Okay, so in summary, this is the summary of what we ended up getting. I started with I ended up gaining 151 days of premium time, 96,500 gold, and 13,235,000 credits. And I tried to assign a gold value to each of these things just so that I could compare it, right, and what it would be valued at, or a dollar value, I suppose. So what I ended up doing for the premium time, to get exactly 150 days, you had to buy the 90 days and then 2 of the 30 days. And so that's what I ended up doing here, and that's what each of these 2 things costs. So it would cost you $59 to get exactly 150 days. So there's that. The gold, it was $51.69 to get 12,000 gold. So I used that ratio to scale up to get 96,500 gold. So that's $415. And then the credits are a little bit sticky because, like, Wargaming values credits at 1 gold to 400 credits, which I think is criminally low. I think that's if you're making that conversion, that's a terrible deal. So I don't necessarily agree with the valuation here, but this is what they ended up doing. So I took this, took the total amount of credits divided by 400 to get it to gold, and then converted the gold into credits using this ratio, same as the last one. So that ends up being, if you were to just straight up buy credits with money, it would be about $142 of credits. So that means if you were to stack this all together, that's $617 of value of this, right? And to buy 200 boxes is the $40 for 25 boxes times 2, and then times 4 again for 4 of the different collections. So that's a total of $320 to buy that. So the gold value was $617 plus I got each of these 4. I got the 4, the Mivi, I got the Tornwagen, I got the Caliban, and I also got a 122 TM, plus the 4 skins, plus the 617 gold value of all of these things. So all of that for $320 worth of gold, worth of money. And so that's, I'm going to say that this is a pretty good deal, assuming that you want this, right? Like, I already had 474 days of premium. I didn't really need any more of it. So is, $60 worth of premium time, is that worth it? Well, I don't know, not really, because I would have never bought that anyways. And like, I would have never paid $142 for credits. That's just not, I would never buy credits. So some of this, like it looks, I still think it's a good deal, right? Because getting these 4 tanks and this much gold is just straight up already a good deal. And as far as what the premium time and what the credits are worth to you, that's only something you can decide, but I had to try to assign a value to it. So this is what I did. So take this data and decide for yourself whether this is something that you want to invest in. Please note, of course, there's the feels bad mechanic that helps so that you don't spend a bunch of money and get nothing for it, but it does kick in after 50. And you saw, sometimes you get unlucky. I'm sure you'll have friends that'll say, oh, I bought 5 boxes and I got 5 tanks. I mean, I saw somebody earlier today that bought 5 boxes and got 4 tanks. It's crazy. But at the same time, you just saw me open 50 and then only get 1 up the feels bad mechanic and then do the same thing again. So that could be you too. Don't feel like you're not guaranteed anything. So there's that. So that's the summary. Okay, so Holiday Ops basics. So I'm going to play around. I'm going to show you on my alt account that is mostly free to play. And I sent myself some boxes on this account so that you guys so that I could show you more easily what it is that we're doing here. Because once everything's all maxed out, it's a little bit tougher to show. So you get a bonus. You get to see 3 more boxes. So you get a decoration, cool. Okay. Ace of base, lol. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so now that I have that, and then we'll show the small boxes. These are small boxes real quick, and these only give shards. I'll explain what shards are and then something else like that. Okay, so what is Holiday Ops? Holiday Ops is basically the best time of the year, I think, for World of Tanks, where you have the holiday atmosphere in the garage. Physically you can see it and all that stuff. And basically what you're doing is you're completing missions, like your daily missions for the day give you they give you boxes. They give you small boxes like this. Just said it. So each of these is going to give you a certain number of boxes and stamps. I'll go over the stamps later. And in those are going to be shards that you use to make decorations. And you'll also, there's other ways to easily earn boxes. But you open the boxes after doing the things, and you use the shards to create ornaments. And so like right now, I opened up a couple of things. I've got some ornaments and it's all good. I'm not going to smash them, but if I did, I would smash them and then I would create an ornament of the type that I wanted. And I'll go into this later, but you create the ornaments, you stick them on the tree. And, see, we've got a tree here with all these different spaces for ornaments and stuff and all of this. You've got the fair, which has different spaces for things. And you've got the installation, which has different spaces for things. You're noticing that. And as I'm looking at this, I'm seeing this. I'm gonna talk about this in just a second. The large decorations are also stuff in the background. Why do you want this? The more decorations you have, there's a little more to it, but the more decorations you have, it basically boosts your festive atmosphere. And that's here. And as your festive atmosphere goes up, you get a bonus to credits for every game that you play, but then you also get these various different stages. Everybody starts at stage 1, and you get stage 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 10, and you get each of these rewards at each of the stages, right? And so there you got a bunch of credit boosters, duplicator things, which I'll talk about that later. And these are female crew, so that's big. That's really big. And these holiday vehicle slots, I'll talk about that later. And so this is the gist. You're just trying to grind this up. And there is other stuff to do as well, but this is the main show. And so when you finally finish this, you get to level 10, and you get a bunch of crew books, and you've got all these different boosters and so on and so forth, and blueprint fragments and training books and all that stuff. So this is basically just free stuff for playing the game, and so that's what we're doing. And again, there's more things that I'll go into, very shortly, but this is the very basic gist, is they want you to come back. You don't have to play every day, but obviously there are incentives to play as often as they can convince you to do so that you get more free stuff. So that's it. It's just ornaments on a tree and so on and so forth. Okay, so festive atmosphere optimizations. This is the next one. So what you'll notice here is that I have, let me see here. I opened a few things. And when I did, when I opened some things, where is it? Okay, so this is not a great example, but okay, so when you do a thing, when you get an ornament, when you get a decoration, you want to put it on. And there used to be decorations, but you notice there I got a little bonus for unfreezing a slot. Just by putting anything in each of these slots, you'll see there they look a little frozen, right? Look, let's take that off. Can I take it off? Yeah. So this is unfrozen, and these are frozen. And why does that matter? They just want you to fill these in with something, right? And I'll get into that in just a second. You have to, I think you have to create the large decorations, but I'm going to use this as an example. So you can also create one of these, and this is the tree is the most important thing, the pendant. So we're going to create a random collection of a pendant, and there, we're just going to do that. And I don't have enough shards. You can see I have 1,200 shards. They cost 1,250 shards. So let's reevaluate. Give me just a moment. Let me see, I've just gotten a thing from my friend. I will talk about that also in just a second. So, I want to show you what I mean. We'll open another small box here because this might be just exactly what I need. I'm trying to get enough shards to... Okay, perfect. I have enough now. What I want to do is, I want to show you the way to optimize this. So you need one decoration for each of these types, right? This is the frozen slot of a tree topper, and this is a frozen slot of the little, the thing that's highlighted, right? There's 2 of these, and there's 4 of these, and there's 2 of these, little presents at the bottom. You'll notice that the rest of these just have 1 for each type, which is intentional and annoying, but it's really helpful that there are repeats here, and this is why. So you can create or roll the dice and hope that you just get one, a pendant or one of those, one of the other different types. And when that happens, you put the pendant on the tree, and you got credits toward your festive atmosphere just for having the one ornament, that additional special one that you didn't have before. You got points for that. And then you got points for putting it in this slot. Well, there's no reason you can't take it off and put it on the... Oh, snap. Not been placed in any slot before. Okay, I sit corrected. So you can't just move the same ornament around, but there's a lot of incentive to make sure that you get at least one in each of these types of ornament slots, because you get points just for putting it in there, right? Even if you take it off later, it doesn't matter. So that is that's festive atmosphere optimization. Just make sure that you get something in each of the slots. There's no more levels of decoration like there were in the previous years, so don't worry about that so much. If you have things you don't need, you can smash them. And I think I need these. I need the pin. Let's see. It's a snowflake. Let's see. Pyrotechnics. All right. I want to install one of them. Installation. Pyrotechnics. Okay. So we've got that in there, and you can see I got points just for installing it in the festive atmosphere slot. And so now I'm already at level 2 without having to do really a whole lot. And what you'll do is, since I have a spare, I can't really... And so you actually get an extra point for placing a new decoration in that same slot. That's what I was trying to say, is just by placing a decoration that you haven't put in before in that same slot that you've got, you'll get more points toward your festive atmosphere. So this is a really easy way, even if you just have a few, cycle them through and make sure that everything has touched everything, right? And then the ones that you don't need, you can smash. We'll smash them. It's a very satisfying sound. And okay, so once you're done with that, you can go to the decoder writer, and each day you're going to open up small boxes to get you more shards. The shards then can be used to craft decorations of the various types. So this is like, you can see the icons match the various different icons we saw in front of the Christmas tree, right? So if you need one present, the more specific you get, right? If you say, I want a Christmas tree of this different collection, the more it's going to cost, right? You can keep it random and it gets cheaper, or you can be very specific and it gets more expensive, or you can be random and it's cheaper than that, right? It's even cheaper still. So that's one way to craft the things that you need to put on the tree and then the various things. Yeah, so that's how you would do that. You'll get the shards from the low tier, the small boxes, and you'll create the decorations you need. It seems like there's a lot, but there really aren't a whole lot. I think you'll definitely be able to easily do this just with small boxes. So that's atmosphere optimization. You'll notice here in the top we've got collections. What are collections? So if you get all 4 large decorations, it gives you some stuff. It gives you a bonus, of course, to credits, but it also gives you some decals. And each of these different collections are the same name as the boxes, right? You got New Year, got Lunar New Year, you've got Magic New Year, and you've got Christmas. I think these names are really lame, but nobody asked me when they made these, so here we are. And you'll notice there are a lot, right? You see there's like of these different types, right? You'll notice the little icon. This is a little hangy, what would you call that? Garland. It's a garland icon. Another garland icon. These are all garland icons, right? Why does that matter? Well, they're all different. And so you can pull these from the large boxes that you buy, or you can create them using the decoder writer. But there's no guarantee that you won't get a duplicate, unless there is a way to guarantee that. So you'll notice that on the rewards, each of these levels gives you this little thing. It's an anti-duplicator charge. So why does that matter? So then that means when you are creating a thing, let's say you wanted to fill in, I'll get into why you might want to do this in just a second, but let's say you want to fill in this camouflage, you want to fill in like all of these, you have all but this one, right? You have like of these types, you see, pay attention to the type, the pendant type. You got this one here and this one and this one. These are all pendant types out to here. Let's pretend that you have these 3 and you have these 4, and all you need is this one, this winter suspension. Well, the only way to guarantee that you'll definitely get one that you don't already have is to use one of those anti-duplicator charges, right? By doing this. And I only have 2 right now. Those are very, very hard to come by. Or they've added this year. You can spend 2,000 additional shards to make sure, instead of a duplicator charge, to make sure that you get through the collection. And why you would want to do that is if you fill in all the different types, all of them, oh my god, all of the different Christmas types, you would then finish up the Christmas collection, and you'll get the corresponding camouflage value, corresponding camo for this collection. And you can go and see, you can see on the website what each of the camos for each of these collections looks like. I don't remember off the top of my head what they look like. But yeah, each of the different collections has different camouflages, and it all works the same. So that's why you would be incentivized to fill in the collections. Also, unlike last year, excuse me, I'm going to go to the front. Before, your bonus to the credits was only, it's multiplied by the festive atmosphere and the large decoration bonus, and that's it. But this year they've added a significant increase. Like, they've added it so that you your bonus to credits is tied to how much of the collection you've finished. And that's new. Last year, the only reason you had to care about the collections is if you wanted the camos. So you didn't really need to care about that if you didn't want to. And they've realized that this is a great way to squeeze people. So now, in order to get the maximum credits bonus in your games, you need to fill in these collections as much as possible. So this is a reason that you need to care about this. And so what I would do then is, before you start spending duplicator charges, I would say when you start creating things, start aiming for the types that you have a lot missing, right? Like, for instance, if you have almost none of these pendants, like I have no New Year's style pendants, well, that means if I don't need to use an anti-duplicator, I'll just create one of these, and I'm sure it'll definitely be new. And I might do that 2 or 3 times because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these that I don't have. And then maybe once I have like 4 of them filled in, then I might move on to another one and see where I get, right? Because it's the odds aren't very good after you have some of these filled in. You want to be efficient, right, with the use of your anti-duplicator charges, and then also, like, you can use shards but that's, again, it's not very efficient. So I would get the low-hanging fruit first, and then if you finish them up completely, you get the collection camos. So I don't think this is they have definitely made it a lot harder to get the full 50% credit bonus. Last year, after opening the 200 boxes, I had a full 50% credit bonus, and this year, after opening the boxes, I had 32% credit bonus. So it's definitely a lot harder. It's going to take you a lot more to get that. So that is the collection camos. That's why you should care. And you can see it's kind of all tied together, right? So it's a little bit hard to explain one thing without explaining all the other things. But the next thing, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the game. And yeah, I guess that kind of looks like him. Okay, so what is this? Missions from Arnie. Every day, Arnold Schwarzenegger will give you missions. And it doesn't matter if you miss any, because you could come in on the very last day and all of the missions from the previous days would still be here. There'd be a big list. They'll still be here and they'll still be ready to go. And you don't complete them sequentially. You complete them all at the same time. So you might have 30 something, 32. If you come in the very last day, you'll have 32 missions active, and you just play the game and you'll start cranking them out. And then as you complete them, you get these different levels, and right, and this. So you have to do 32 of all 32 of them, and you get this little thing in your profile that you probably never even look at ever again. But if you do 27, you get Arnold Schwarzenegger as a commander, which is cool. And he's got some unique voice lines that you can barely hear because the recording is not very good. And there's a camouflage, which is cool. So that's a thing. And you don't need to do that. You also get boxes as a reward, and you also get these stamps, which I'll talk about the stamps in a second. And then probably the biggest thing is you get you get this discount for the various different you get one applicable discount on a researchable tier 2 vehicle at tier 2, and tier 3 at level 5, and so on and so forth. So if you get to the very end, you get to apply a 20% discount to any tier 10 in the game that's on the tech tree that you want. You don't have to have it unlocked. You don't have to. Doesn't expire. So it's pretty cool. If there's something that you're aiming at and you want to get to someday, you can use these discounts to make it cheaper to get there one day. It's worth noting that the on-track discounts and other discounts do not stack with these things, right? So don't think, oh, I'm going to outsmart the system and I'll choose a 20% discount on the Leopard 1 because I know it'll be on track in like 2 weeks, right? And then I'll get the bonuses will stack. Well, they won't stack. You'll just have wasted this bonus. So don't do that. Pick something you want to get to, and then eventually you'll get there, and you'll probably forget that you had this, and you'll say, why do I have this bonus? But that's it. So that's the missions from Arnold. You can also pay shards to simplify the various different missions, and the simplification will be different based on what the mission is, of course. Right? This first one is, cause 5,000 damage in any vehicle tier 4 and up. Well, if that's too hard or you want to get there faster, you can simplify it and say 2,500, for example. And each of these missions is able to be simplified, but again, it costs shards. So you kind of have to manage this, right? And you're incentivized to come back every day because your daily missions give you boxes, which give you shards. So that's a thing. So that's kind of the gist of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you'll notice that here he also gives you a vehicle slot, and we'll get to that in just a second. The very next thing is the post, sending mail. What is the deal with sending mail? Okay. So if you don't have any friends or people on your friends list, time to get some friends and get some people on your friends list. Doesn't matter. It could be an alt account. It could be people you don't even know in battle. Doesn't matter. But you need 10 people, at least 10 people on your friends list. And here's why. As you're doing the various missions, you'll notice some of them give away stamps. And what you'll do is each day, or not each day, but once... every day this resets. This is your little parcel counter. And so what you don't want to do anything with this entire screen until you have 10 stamps. Because if you have 9 and you don't get that 10th one, it'll reset. All your progress will be erased for the day. So what you want to do is once you have 10 of these, you start sending mail, basically. You say, you pick one of your friends, and then like I've already sent myself something from my main account, so I can't send something back. But let's say I'll just, send this to my friend, and I'll change a message. Right. So it's a cute little message, and you will send them a small box. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you send that to your friends, send the things, and so you want the 10 stamps because you can send 10 of those in one day, and that gives you a token. And then you say, why do I want a token? All right, so then first you get your first 4 tokens give you this, give you these inscriptions, right? And then your next 4 tokens give you this, which is some decal that you may or may not ever care about. But most importantly, then after your last, you got 4, 8, 12. After your 12th token, so that's 12 days of doing this. Doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter which days. You got to do it 12 different days. Then you get this cool camouflage that looks like this. The unbrokens, the bro camouflage. So that's kind of cool. It doesn't really require a whole lot of you. You just basically give some of your friends some free stuff, and you get the token. You get the stamps are the most critical thing. You get those from missions. You get those from Arnold's missions. You get those from your daily missions. And I've just wasted the one here now today. I'm probably not going to get it on my alt account here. But I wanted to show you. So this is how that works. The most important thing is don't do anything until you have 10 to spend. Because if you don't have 10, and then you don't, like I said, you don't get there by the end of the day, then those are all wasted because this resets, right? It says it resets in 10 hours. So that's that. That's what sending mail is. Holiday vehicle slots. And they've made this interface a whole lot easier up here. I like this. So holiday slots. So you can see this, or I'll just explain it to you. So basically, after you get to Festive Atmosphere level 5, you unlock the first vehicle slot. After you unlock 5 missions from Arnie, you unlock a vehicle slot. And your last one is after you get to Festive Atmosphere level 10. So what this does is it allows you to put a vehicle in the slot just like previous years, except the previous years were very awkward because it doesn't matter. I won't get into last year, but this year, now it's so much better because you pick the vehicle based on vehicle tier depends on the Festive Atmosphere level. So if you get to like Festive Atmosphere level 8, you'll probably have this one. You'll probably have this one. You can put any vehicle in these slots up to that level of Festive Atmosphere, and you can choose. Do you want combat XP on that tank, or do you want crew XP, or do you want extra free XP? So this is really great. If you're grinding a stock tank, you can stick that tank in the vehicle slot. Click the combat booster, the combat XP bonus, and then boom! Every time you're playing this tank over this month, and even after I think Holiday Ops is over, this sticks around for a little while. This is really great because it'll make it so that it's that much easier to grind XP on, and so you basically got a free combat XP booster all the time. You can stack that with your normal boosters, right? Your normal boosters will stack with that, and then if you guys have a clan, you should get in a clan. And then clan XP boosters will be running. Those also stack. Shameless plug, if you're looking for a clan, Boops exists, Boops, Boops. And we've got an expansion. We got an expansion clan called Boop 2, Boop2. Boop 2 exists. And it's anyone can join. Just just hanging out when we're popping boosters and stuff and part of the community. And if you have questions, we're here to help and we're here to answer them. So anyways, yes, clans could pop boosters and those all stack together. And so it'll really, really expedite grinds. If you got stock grinds and you hate it and you just want to get to that next gun, don't waste your free XP. You put in a vehicle slot and select your combat XP and that will help. And so this is so much better than the previous years. It's so much more useful. I like this a lot. Why did it take them 3 years to figure this out? I don't know, but here we are. And then if you unlock all the things, you can have 3 different ones. That's great. So last thing, so free-to-play targets. Where do I think that you'll go what do I think you should target if you're free-to-play? Well, honestly, I think the big thing here is if you're free-to-play, the collections are going to be going to be a lot more difficult because it's, man, I'm actually, I'm not really sure because there's a lot of easier ways. Not needing the charge, the anti-duplicator charge to make the non-duplication is a huge game changer, right? And so I don't know exactly how that's going to shake out. So as far as how hard it is to finish the collections, it's too unclear at this point. But I would say that if you play most days, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that you'll get to Festive Atmosphere level 8 at least. You may even finish it. I mean, in the previous years, free-to-play players, if you play just a little bit every day, or even if you miss some days, it's not very hard to finish this to get to Festive Atmosphere level 10. You may not get the full 50% credit bonus, But whatever, who cares? I mean, it's whatever. It's still all this stuff. Like the female crews are the most important thing because crew is just so important, especially for free to play. So I would say, try for level 8 at least, but I'll bet if you play enough, you can get to level 10, and then get those female crew, and that's huge. And then the other thing is, if you're willing to play, it doesn't even need to be every day, but the Arnie missions are huge. You can just pop in here and finish these and get these the discounts on the tech tree vehicles, because credits are the most important. Like, credits are how they're limiting you, right? So it's those tanks at tier 8, 9, and 10 get really expensive. Well, why don't you knock it down by 40%, right? So that's pretty big. So I would say missions from Arnie should be your priority. And then also just, do your dailies every day and try to just, grind out the different things and focus on, doing the dance and putting the different decorations in the slots, and then see where your festive atmosphere gets. I would be willing to bet that if you play most days, you'll easily get to level 8. And I'm going to track the progress. You guys let me know how it goes. I'm going to be tracking it on this account as well. And I'll do a follow-up to see if it's a little harder than I thought or if it's easier than I thought. But, historically, they have done these events where they kind of want you to get somewhere. Like they want you to do the things. They want you to be able to do the things. So I don't think finishing a collection is reasonable to assume, but I definitely think that getting to level 8 or level 10 on Festive Atmosphere is definitely doable for free to play. And that's it. I will stop talking. I've talked about all the things I want to talk about. Thank you very much for coming along, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.